What are some tips for Christmas time when you have pets around?
Well, a lot of times when Christmas, we have our trees up, we have presents, so you want to think of all of it, how it can affect your pet. So with your Christmas trees, ornaments, if they fall and break, your cat steps in it, your dog, or they chew it, if they knock it over, just those type of hazards. Also for the live trees, if you have water underneath, your dog might go in there and drink it, things like that. So you want to really be conscious of what you're doing and your pets and what they're getting into or might get into. Toys also for your decorations. You might have types of toys that your dog is used to grabbing and playing with, and could be quite dangerous for them. So you want to make sure you have the proper toys, and maybe just monitor them while they're out under the trees and stuff. Other things, lights, right? Wires, chewing, things like that. You want to just really be conscious.
What about cooking at Christmas, Kim?
Well, when you're cooking the big dinners, your chicken, your turkeys, things like that, you want to make sure that you're putting your garbage out right away, because they do have the bones that if your dog gets into the garbage, it may cause problems, and you might be spending your Christmas Eve at the vet's. The other thing is also when you're cooking, you're having those Christmas dinners, you have your treats, chocolate. A lot of our treats aren't good for the dogs. So you want to make sure you put them up, because even if you've put them nicely wrapped like this and you put them under your tree, their sense of smell is so good, they may just open it and eat it. And I know a few people, including myself, where a dog has gotten into some stuff. So you don't want to do that, because it is quite harmful to them. The other thing too is we have our trees, we have our plants. You want to make sure that there are some plants that are poisonous to dogs. The poinsettias, it used to be believed that they were quite poisonous. Not that I would want any dogs or cats eating any of those plants. So I'm always just conscious at this time of year to make sure everything's up and they can't get into them. Like even with the mistletoe, things like that, you don't want them getting into it. So you want to make sure they're up and out of reach. The other thing that I wanted to mention was, this tree doesn't have it, and it was really hard to find. I don't know if you can see it. We have one piece of tinsel in the whole shelter, because it's so dangerous. We've known like dogs, but cats in particular, when they're chewing, and I don't know if you can see this, when they're chewing or they're swallowing, with the strings or the elastics, tinsel, if they get in and they eat it, ingest it, then for sure it can cause a lot of problems, and you're going to end up at the vet. So we don't even use tinsel, and it was, like I said, a hard time to even find this on the tree, because it's such a danger to cats and other animals.
But having a tree in general is okay, even with cats?
I think when you have your tree, you know your cats, and cats like to investigate, they like to play, they like to climb. So again, that's knowing your cat and how to safely secure your tree, because if your cat is constantly climbing up your tree, you might not have a tree.
Yeah.
Right? So you just want to be aware of that, because they can really hurt themselves and then hurt whoever else is in the home too.
Okay, so that's awesome, Kim. So I can share this with potential adopters coming by the shelter, and also family and friends. So I guess things to watch out for would be the decorations on the tree, like tinsel, presents underneath the tree, so any foods, chocolates that they could get into, and garbage, making sure to get it out right away so their pets aren't digging through it.
Perfect. That's perfect, because you really want to make sure that you're thinking of your dog, your cat, or your rabbit. I mean, rabbits like to chew, so making sure that you know what they like to get into, and just being one step ahead, because we don't want them to get into anything. We don't want them to have to go to the vet, or get hurt. So just really being conscious and being safety conscious.
Yeah.